Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What is different? I chop the same, I carry the same. What has changed? I must chop, I must carry. Otherwise I perish. What has changed? I go to my job today as an enlightened being? How would that go? I must earn money to live. Should I wear my enlightenment to work or leave it at home? We get so confused about these things. Which is why the enlightened stay mostly silent. If you're slipping, then you haven't entered anything. After entering, no slipping. Some of the most enlightened people have pretended to be crazy in life, so the rest of the world leaves them alone and has no expectation of them. Pretending to be crazy is an incredible use of the ego under control, not an easy thing to do, to pretend to be crazy and get away with it. You have to embody crazy in a very intelligent way. So ego is under your control. Slipping? No slipping if you have entered the door of enlightenment. You can look stark raving bonkers to others or just a totally ordinary Joe, depending on what you decide to show them. You are the ultimate game player who can take ego and mold what you need others to see. Stick this mask on today, throw it away tomorrow and wear another. Today I'm crazy, tomorrow I'm a blind man with a stick. Creating egos to wear. This too happened. A very famous Zen master suddenly disappeared and was not found for 30 years. He was eventually discovered by a monk who would not give up the search for his master, living in the worst place full of homeless, outcasts, murderers, rapists, drug addicts, prostitutes. He was pretending to be one of them. He had been living with these people for over 20 years. No one recognized him. Would you have recognized him if you saw him in that place? No chance. Would you have stopped in your tracks and fallen to the floor to touched by his grace? No chance. Nothing is ever quite what it seems. Creating an ego to wear. The same one for over 20 years. He created the illusion he was a homeless bum and wore that for over 20 years. Before enlightenment, after enlightenment, it all looks the same on the outside to the untrained eye. Only the trained eye can see what is hidden under the well-worn mask. It's a bit like asking, how was your dream last night compared to the one the night before? Being dreams, comparing seems silly, doesn't it? There isn't ego versus enlightenment, these are the divided perceptions of the mind. Enlightenment is not separate from ego but inclusive of it, just like dreams. That's why someone that you would call enlightened but isn't sees you as complete and lacking nothing, missing nothing. Utterly complete and whole, expressing any perceived limitation or belief you feel too. That's all good. If you suffer and express deep trauma and grief now, then I am that. I live that as you. No division is here of you and me. It's totally inclusive as life, as this. This is love. Division is the illusion and division is fear. Fear dies into and is this. Enlightenment doesn't happen till your mind is simplified. That is why it is called work of millions of birth. It is like changing gnome of you. It is specifically your achievement by experiencing non-achievement. People befool others that it is your natural state, but it is not. It is divine state of your being. Enlightenment is your state of becoming one with the existence, going closer to God. Becoming God is the only purpose of being human, and becoming ego of God is the only purpose we are born with. So the ego of an enlightened person is of God. God is not a person, it is the creative force of existence.